In the vice presidential debate, the topic of guns came up.
I've become friends with school shooters.
Weird flex, but okay. Tim Walz is the very embodiment of, I support the Second Amendment, but where he pays lip service to firearms rights right before gutting them.
No one's trying to scaremonger and say we're taking your guns, but
Except when you or your running mate say you're going to take away guns.
and the idea to have some of these weapons out there, it just doesn't make any sense. And look, I'm a hunter. I own firearms. The vice president is. We understand that the Second Amendment is there, but our first responsibility is to our kids to figure this out. In Minnesota, we've enacted enhanced red flag laws, enhanced background checks, and we can start to get data.
Minneapolis has a high rate of gun violence, though the latest complete set of data is from before these were signed into law last year. However,
but that's not far enough when we know there are things that worked.
So, even though you haven't had time to properly assess if these work locally, you are already calling for stricter gun control regulations on a national level. And hint, everything they have tried has not shown the promised results, and rights, once given away, are difficult to claw back from government because there will always be the next thing to try.
This idea of stigmatizing mental health, just because you have a mental health issue doesn't mean you're violent. And I think what we end up doing is we start looking for a scapegoat. Sometimes it just is the guns.
It's just the guns. Careful, it may go off uncommanded. Well, maybe if it's a SIG.
No one's trying to scaremonger and say we're taking your guns, but I ask all of you out there, do you want your schools hardened to look like a fort?
If that's what it takes to help protect them, yes. It is preferable to leaving them unguarded because soft targets make easy prey for evil people. Enact every gun control measure you secretly desire, and there will still be schools attacked by psychos. So, yes, keep them safe. It's better than the alternative.
Governor, you previously opposed an assault weapons ban, but only later in your political career did you change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents.
Look, obviously shootings are tragedies, and that makes standing up for rights difficult in the face of an emotional appeal. But when you let the tree of liberty wilt like a small flower in the face of adversity, you do not deserve a leadership position because you are giving away freedom to feel good about yourself.
It's not infringing on your Second Amendment. These are things that shouldn't be that difficult. You can still keep your firearms, and we can make a difference. It's just the guns, and there are things that you can do about it. But I do think that this is one, and I think this is a healthy conversation. I think there's a capacity to find solutions on this that work, protect Second Amendment, protect our children. That's our priority.
The solutions proposed here are red flag laws, which is an unconstitutional seizure of property without due process, universal background checks, which is an effective gun registry and step one towards confiscation, and an assault weapons ban, which will involve taking away guns from millions, or at least banning the sale of the most popular style rifles in the country while leaving millions out there unchecked. All the while guffawing at proposals to make security better at schools and saying that trying to address it as a mental health issue stigmatizes the mentally ill unfairly. Of course, I can't end this without acknowledging that the unbiased moderators began the question stating,
"The leading cause of death for children and teens in America is by firearms."
Which of course is misleading, as that includes adults amongst their teen definition and excludes infants in order to pump their numbers up, which the deaths are still bad. You can make the point saying there's too many of them without lying. It's ridiculous, as is Tim Walz. That's all for today. What did you think of the debate? Leave that in the comments below. If you have made it to the end, please consider joining my Patreon, subscribing to the channel. There's a whole playlist breaking down dumb things gun-grabbing politicians say, or at least like the video and share it with others. Thanks for watching.